good evening, and welcome to Dripping with Meaning. I am Nicole Marie Campbell from designingartist.com, and I'm reporting to you on the crew of Spirituality Gone Wild. So tonight, and thank you everybody out there in Spirituality Gone Wild. It's been wild, crazy, and amazing watching everybody's moon shows and all their collaborations with the stream and Debbie Garcia lately. It's been just fantastic for my growth and development and opening up more to spirit. So I'm going to bring in Misty, and she is going to say hello to us tonight. Thanks for visiting with me.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
I kind of got up with that name, figured that out.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah. So much going on since the full moon.
Oh, yeah. We are still in the full moon energy.
And so how long does that go on for?
3 days. 3 days before, the day of is most potent, and then 3 days afterwards.
Yeah.
And that's a mix in with the Mercury retrograde that went direct on the 18th. We're in the shadow aspect of Mercury retrograde.
Okay.
It can last a few days. So that's a nice extra juicy. That's a good extra juicy mix.
Yeah. And so with the Mercury retrograde coming into our moon, we got to establish this, for me, very fiery energy that was just every single activity and thing I was doing was being lit up and shown before me. And as long as I kept true to my inner voice and I kept true to what I was feeling and speaking in my language to other people, I felt like this very dynamic growth going on. And I just kept moving with that. Yeah.
That's so juicy. That's beautiful. You know, the more that we stand up and speak from our hearts, our own authentic truth, the more that we're going to just align with our highest selves and lead our own best lives for us.
Yeah, and get to disconnect from a lot of those things that we know that are no longer serving us.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. One of my quotes on my vision board that I can see over here is disconnect to reconnect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly that, is that sometimes we do need to disconnect, shut everything off, move away from technology or just from people in general, disconnect from it all so that we can reconnect to ourselves and our inner knowing.
It's difficult, I think. Becoming more to my online world, and then as well accepting that unleashing coming through trauma and medicines that induce issues as well, not heal issues, is a big topic for me. I feel the outcome is in my control, and that as long as I can go into down periods from technology, and I do my meditation or relaxation or nap, whatever is necessary, connect with Mother Gaia, then I'm recharged again. But I'm noticing a definite sensitivity with tech. Yeah. And how much time I put into it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%. There's I don't know what he's called, a haru when you meet with Liz next time when you do.
Oh, right. She's bringing him on.
No, but she might be able to talk a bit better about him. And there is a demon apparently that can live within technology that grabs our attention. And that's part of the stream of like flow of the walls wow. On social media, the walls, the following the hashtags, following the home banner, your own
wow.
page. And so the longer you stay on there and just kind of mindlessly scroll, that's giving this tech demon that energy that.
Wow. And so she will be on for our, I think it's the Halloween show.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. I love that. So yeah.
So what she's reporting, and she is a tarot intuitive, full-time employed in that as well. Totally. But she's reporting that there's different, as I'm seeing it, different levels and dimensions constantly facing us.
Yep, you bet.
And as I am looking up, even throughout my lunch today, I was very mindful to make sure that everyone passing me,
Mm-hmm.
I tried to bring a positive thought in my mind.
Yeah.
Because as I'm processing and gaining confidence
Mm-hmm.
in my now self, I want to make sure that I actually am aligning those energies, because not only seeing them, but knowing that we're in transmission together
Yeah.
vibrationally,
Oh,
um, to
absolutely.
stand on that fifth dimensional platform.
Yep, definitely. And what you send out, you receive back. And it's very, that's just going to give you that extra edge or that extra advantage to move forward in a shifted, more positive, uplifted, higher self vibration when
Mm-hmm.
you're intentionally sending out good energy, sending out the good
Mm-hmm.
energy. We're all little Care Bears, Care
Aw,
Bear countdown.
that's so
And
adorable.
yeah, we can do that. We can affect the room. We can affect strangers. We do. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
making sure that we can do that for ourselves, and whether that means we have to rest or unplug or have a bath or go for a
Mm-hmm.
walk in the forest,
Yeah.
you're better able to serve your community and be the Care Bear.
Yeah, and I think you're tuning in as well at the, I am at the Mother Gaia point as often as possible. So even if I'm just walking in the street, I'm looking at the water, appreciating that, looking for the plant life or acknowledging the weather, and coping with like just that beautiful sky or not, right? It just like sort of, yeah, I think in the attunement phase, it's like you really want to be really careful,
Mm-hmm.
because self-love for me now is like, well, if you can love yourself unconsciously, consciously, and forgive and let go as often as possible.
Yeah.
But I think that that deeper work inside, it needs, kind of like why I wrote spiritual backpacking when I did. It needs that day to day sort of, grind of how you see your appointments and everything, just sort of making space for your personal breath, your personal space, and tapping and tuning into yourself. So
Yeah, I love that. And what did you write? Did you say spiritual backpacking?
it was one of the first courses that I wrote. It's called Spiritual Backpacking. And it's just a very quicksy kind of have an evening out or online, sorry, where, the discussion board would be like how each individual comes together with their spiritual intent and how that sort of shapes their day and what the difference is and how they feel when they do and they don't. And it just opens up a kind of discussion board.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who do you do this with?
I've only done it one practice time. I just was doing it with a group, and sort of had a practice, and it was interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It sounds interesting. I like that. Because
Yeah.
everything, if we lead everything with intention, like before you eat, before you get out of bed, before you get dressed, adding
Hmm.
that intention before doing anything can really help magnify whatever it is that you're doing in that moment.
Yeah, and with the moon phase pushing over now, where are we going? Like, is it what's the
We're coming up
next
to Scorpio. New moon in Scorpio will
new
be
moon? Oh, okay.
November 7th. Super exciting. That's my time. I'm a Scorpio, and
Mm.
Halloween is my favorite day of the year. I was supposed to be born on Halloween, but
Oh.
I was 2 weeks late. And in fact, as my mom had to have a cesarean because I did not want to come out,
Oh no.
I was like, send me back. I'm not ready.
I'm not ready.
I don't want this. So I was exactly 2 weeks late and was on November the 14th, born on a Saturday. Yeah, kind of cool. Kind of cool. So November 7th will be the new moon in Scorpio. And this is all about death, rebirth, transformation, shedding of the snake skins, shedding our former selves. This is, the time the veils are the thinnest in October. As you
Mhm.
know, it's very high energy in the spirit realm, and it's active with any spirits or ghosts that have crossed over that we know of. Personally, I've had a couple that have been getting in touch with me lately and just letting me know that they're okay, sending messages of protection and love and abundance and guidance, which is neat. But we also have to look at the other side of that because it's yin and yang. And so daily rituals for protecting ourselves are pretty important this month of the year, especially October.
So, we were talking about before we came into the room. I forget what it was, but I wanted to get into that again because I thought it was going really, really well before we even came in. Do you remember?
We talk about so
many things.
Where were we with that? Oh gosh.
I know, and everything is so like, yes, we're really in the butt of this dripping with meaning, but yeah. So mind over matter, self, our environments, our hormones, what we're putting into our bodies when we're in our home life.
Yeah.
And then the acknowledgement of, and for me, the acknowledgement of my nutrient-based life.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't pushed over to not eating meat, but I feel a pull, but I'm right there with it.
Yeah.
That is like an amazing step too.
It is. It is. Because we are what we eat.
Yeah, in that vibrational sense too,
Mm-hmm.
when we are more attuned to what we're doing well for ourselves, we're lining ourselves up with another level to be on spiritually, where we're opening to a higher dimensional frequency that is definitely more loving and protective, right? In the proper ways.
And equality for all living beings. And absolutely that. Like when we consider, I haven't been eating meat now just over a year. A couple of times I have eaten fish, and over the years of my life, I've gone from long breaks without the meat and then listened to external information about, you can't do that because of your iron. You can't do that because of anemia. You can't do that. Like listening to other people's determinations based on my lifestyle have been in flux because also my own energetic rhythms have been, up and down and then I would take that into belief that maybe they were right. Maybe I did need to eat the meat at that time. So
yeah, I think it's a debate a lot of people go through. I don't think it's a win, lose, or draw, but I know from meeting Eastern mysticism that some of us need that for our groundment and protein levels. Like some of us really find it very, very difficult to go without it. And I try to seek the most innocent of sources as well. I really lay off of the red meat and stuff. Like I don't feel a connection to it.
Oh.
But for my cupboards, I really enjoy lots and lots of vegetables. So cooking vegetables is my top priority.
Yeah, of course. I love that. Like max out on raw vegetables. Steaming the vegetables is really good for you. Yeah, but you're right. Like honoring ourselves and just giving gratitude for if we do eat meat. And there's no judgment because all beings have their own energetic and physical composition. And I believe that we come down to earth, or that we arise in earth in these bodies for unconditional love. And that is no judgment. Like, let us not be casting judgments of others.
Yeah, that's a huge step too.
Like we can't judge other people. They can't judge us, but we can just live in our own authenticity and all learn self-compassion, but also unconditional love.
Yeah, and I think like when I looked at the full circle events of my healing opportunities this moon, I was astonished at what the creator put before me, because it showed me through all of my phases and stages, and it was scary, right? But at the same time, when it all came out flush in the end, and I'm like, wow, this is like the beauty of being all of it, not just the parts that maybe someone else would find easy, maybe not the parts that I think somebody else would find easy, but in the end, the statement is I am that I am.
Oh yeah.
Right. In the I am that I am, everything is one. Your meaning and your being here is perfect. There's no discrimination.
Totally. I am that I am. When I hear that, it just plays through my mind like a river. It's just dripping with meaning.
I love rivers.
That's really nice. It's very peaceful. It's a very peaceful, calming mantra or statement that we can all return back to or call it in and breathe into it at any given time. It's nice.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah. Do you have any cards with you today?
Oh, I don't have my cards with me today.
No.
Oh, they're not far. I'll bring them next week and we'll get Liz too.
Oh, so we'll have like a more card focus next week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll all have to pull. We'll pull next week. That'll be for Halloween. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I can't say that I've been pulling the cards every day. And 2 days in a row, the magician came out. And then I had a meeting with a new person I've never met before over Zoom today. And he kept mentioning how he is a magician. So I just thought that synchronicity was
interesting.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, you're picking up on the synchronicity.
Tons. It's almost scary, the synchronicities, because they're so unbelievably potent. I went for dinner by myself the other night. When was that? Sunday night or Monday night? And I sat and I just enjoyed my food very intentionally. I usually get a stomach ache from some of the food that I eat at this lovely restaurant, but I gave it Reiki first, went alone, brought a book. I ate very slowly and just enjoyed my meal with my book. And the book is about shamanic journeying.
Oh, shamanic journeying. I love that.
Right? And it was Sandra Ingerson, I believe is her last name. She's a great writer. And
Ingerson, okay.
Yeah, she's good. And now the weird part that it would be unbelievable to anybody is that during this book, it kind of comes up about tapping into your spirit guides, going into how they can you usually have one or two that stay with you from birth, or they move on and you get new ones based on soul contracts, based on your lessons that you have learned.
Okay, I know that. So your guides, as you finish a level, are also graduating.
They graduate. They have other beings that they need to go and assist, and we get other ones that are based on the lessons that we may be going through or the help of the support that we may need at that time. And it was really neat because I'm like, oh, let me just sit here and eat and think about my spirit guides. Like, which ones are mine? Because I see so many of them all the time.
Yeah.
And can you imagine that instantly they both came to me? I knew exactly what they were, the two of them. And leaving the restaurant, leaving afterwards, I was planning on going and do a little shamanic journey at home, just go, get into my quiet meditative state before bed. But I also wanted to walk around a couple times the neighborhood and just, let my stomach settle the food that I ate. And lo and behold, it's October 19th. I saw both of them. One was on a man's sweater and pants.
Wow.
He had the logo embossed on both.
What did you see?
So that actually was a white owl. My white billowy owl that wraps me with his angelic feathery wings. That one has been with me since childhood. And now on a gentleman's sweater and his pants is the outline of a white owl. I'm like, this is crazy. And I looked at
it's actually what you're wanting to see as well. It's that part of your soul that's open to the animal kingdom, right?
It was so neat. I was going to go in shamanic journey in my house and just, tap down into the
Have you ever heard of going out for animal, like you can go in and you can have the animals sit with you and they're trained. They have them in my area.
Oh, that's beautiful.
They have different birds trained so that they will come and sit with you.
I would love that. I would love that. And lo and behold, I see the owl. Not even a second later, I turn to the left and there's the white butterfly floating. And that's the other one. So, and it's 19th of October. It's nighttime. It's cooler. It was a nice day. It was pretty hot. But a white butterfly, what are the chances of just seeing it?
Yeah.
Right
So
and then.
I think that goes back to the statement, energy goes where thought flows.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So your thoughts, see, this is why spiritual backpacking was just seemed normal to me, with proper discipline. But it's like your intent and your routine, as
Mm-hmm.
well as acceptance of the self by taking good care of the self, loving the self, forgiving ourselves for holding on to negative thoughts or ideas, those type things. And then for me, not trying to fix anybody else, just do me. Um, but yeah, and then end up in a state where your mind is so clear. My sister talks about it a lot in Buddhism and Zen talks, but the no mind,
Okay.
and in no mind, there is no, in Kabbalah, we refer to it as nothingness or Ein Sof,
Unso.
right? It's just undefined space that you're creating.
Yeah.
And within that, your dreams and reality are becoming through more clarity. You're achieving clarity, which is Kether in Kabbalah,
Yeah.
right? So, and you can push that energy as well.
Yeah.
There's some really interesting formats for that are very simple. Ted Andrews is a good read on Kabbalah magic.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Ted Andrews.
Yeah, and he did spirit talks to
Amazing.
Animal Speaks, it's called. He did
Mm.
a 30-year journey with animals, very detailed.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah, so, but in achieving that clarity, due to the simplicity of the everyday, as you're like aligning all your positive factors, and accepting the shell, it's always breaking, right? Like it's okay that we came and we were in shells and experienced things, and that's our experience. Our experience is perfect. It wasn't meant to be any less or more. It's in its most appropriate space, I feel.
I agree.
And
Exactly what
then
you
I
said.
think that's where I'm ramping up on, where do we put all this energy?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it seems to be growing and growing into the new self, into the new stage of reality. What does that platform look like, right?
Yeah. That's right. What does it look like? Because you are the magician and the creator of that universe.
The
So
magician.
exactly what you said. We can create whatever we wish to see. Energy goes where our intention and our
Yeah.
attention go. Our energy
Flows.
flows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I always
Leon
get those
talks so
mixed up.
often
Go,
about
flow.
flow. Yeah, the flow, and then mindful flow is like sort of me dancing around my apartment all day,
Love that.
right?
Yeah,
Like
that's
I
amazing.
literally just, all the thought and everybody else's stuff went to like zero. That's their stuff. And I'm over here now. And although I've had to hear that song on repeat for a while, I'm just going to dance to it. And so then I just started dancing around the apartment and dancing through my moments and dancing up to my partner.
Oh,
And
that's sweet.
it's such a beautiful energy exchange at that point, because there is no thought that's binding. It's just energy flow and you're in motion. And it is emotion.
Yes,
It is emotion too. Um, the body is just a wonderful vessel.
it is. It is. It's perfect. There's so many things that we don't even have to think about that it's doing for us.
And in the same regard, it's also, from what my recent readings have been showing, an electromagnetic computerized board of its own. It's got sacred message, sacred geometry. It has portal. It
Mhm.
it can bring us into God,
That's right.
basically.
I
Yeah.
believe that. I agree.
Yeah, it's so wonderful to have this blessing to be on the edge or intermediate state, I guess, of the full moon. The words aren't flowing as strongly as usual, but it's okay because it's just exactly where it is too.
That's right. I love that. It's perfect. It's exactly what's needed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we were talking. You know what? What we were talking about before was
You got it.
listening
Okay.
to me. Yeah, we were talking about inner knowing versus certifications.
Yes. Okay. So, in the certification world, I'm in the internet world, you're in the internet business world. We know certification is like an amazing component of learning and getting to a next level with oneself.
Mhm.
I was having lunch, and my friend, who is a poet, artist, and an intuitive of 3 years, was talking about her experience being taught EDMR training from a practitioner and doing it instantaneously as if she already taken the course.
Yeah.
And the practitioner said, I don't know if you knew it. Like, did you take the course? And she said, no, it was just this knowingness that I was in.
Yeah.
That's exactly how she described it to me. And I thought, wow, that knowingness is just like, wow.
Yeah. And
So
trusting
how
us.
we can know and move on to another level of our own personal thread of knowledge through
Yeah.
our channel is truly our own.
It really is. And you think about like something that's been studied for a long time too would be osmosis.
Mm-hmm.
And learning through osmosis is, just absorbing the information without opening the book. It's how Garfield learned so much information by sleeping on the books. And it's kind of neat because you have cats, I have a cat. They're always sleeping on our books because they
Yeah, they
are
like to sleep on our books and our stuff, and they like to encourage or not and agree or not to the food that you're eating. They're very,
right.
yeah.
It's really neat.
As I would say, maybe a little bit in my business. Would you leave me alone, please?
Yeah. That's right.
No, I'm joking. I love them. They're
Aw.
really they're really really adorable. They're really adorable. Yeah. I I think that the animal kingdom as well, like that's showing us, but like that knowingness again is a safe place to go within oneself,
Mhm.
right? And that safe place of letting yourself come to teacher component or to be beyond student,
Yeah.
right? And then sometimes in gathering and in being in the information together,
Mhm.
um, we may achieve a lot by that sharing. But there is like a special gift. What I'm hearing here is within every vessel, every
Absolutely.
single person, as tiny and minute as all those lives are, to whatever degree, are actually all one collaboration.
Yeah.
And what's coming forward is how you're going to interpret it. And
Interpret it.
I'm very mindful of that at this time, because the interpretation is I want to be coming forward in love. I don't want to hold my ego in place in order to, I just want to see that everyone is worthy.
Everyone is worthy. They are absolutely worthy and equal.
Very much so. I think like the ongoing planetary shifts in this next, is it 2 years that it stays in this, what segment of it is in the 2 year phase again?
Oh, I don't remember off the top of my head right
No,
now.
but I think that there is something pulling into like a whole 2 year part
One of,
of our charts. It's going to
one of the
be,
planets.
yeah, major
Yeah.
progression.
Okay. Yeah. Like I know
But
we're in the age of Aquarius. But
yeah,
that's
but with this shift of what happened right
another
to
one.
now, it's like a 2 year,
Ace.
yeah,
All right. I'll have to look into that.
which would be good, because then that's a good way for me to align my moon so that I can be more incorporative with my moon.
Yeah, you can. And just writing it down, a moon journal, moon and mood journal, letting things go, bringing things in. That's you'll find that when we write things down, we're able to move through them and have them move through us just gentler and with a more clarity and an
Mhm.
ease that empties it from the mind and the body and the energetic field by flowing it out on paper.
Right.
And then we can bring that clarity in. So just tracking and noticing without judgment
Mhm.
where we're at.
I think too, I'm hearing and pushing the energy and the thought through breath, because alien to my breath, I think that when we're in a total inhale, exhale, and we're monitoring and feeling how the energies are coming up within the body. Like, do you do that? Do you actually, like, as you're having an inhale, really feel where you're holding and resisting and where, yeah.
Absolutely. It's neat. And sometimes it's a little shocking.
Yeah, it is. And I think when we're doing alignment or we're having downloads, like I get nightly downloads that because we're physiologically changed through those downloads, we're shedding, right? Carbon, I think it is. I'm not sure the exact definition, but we're shedding into our next beingness.
Yep.
That you're not really geared up on a breath at that time. It's quite a shocking experience, actually. But that's why I think I walk 3 times a day, because I just need it.
You danced. You danced.
And I danced, yeah.
Oh, that was awesome. It's such a good day.
I actually have opened up my studio space now to do a 4-piece series.
Amazing. Congratulations. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's a project that's going to entail a lot of just brush strokes and letting go. I'm excited.
Yeah, that sounds great. Do you have a theme or a word or anything that's come up for you on the series?
Yeah, I think for my theme for this set, it's going to be the divine feminine aspect, and really holding that in the light that it deserves.
Mm-hmm.
So I read it, or I saw a good piece on through another video where the gentleman was speaking of the need to come into the adoration of women from a healthier perspective, like that they need to be honored in their home, honored as women, as the power of holding what they hold, and be embraced for that. So
Definitely.
that talk really inspired me, for sure.
That sounds beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, I know it's going to be, like, I think curvy and colorful and a little bit dangerous, maybe.
A little bit dangerous. Wow. Brilliant. That's going to be so nice to see. I can't wait.
Yeah, a little bit on the edge, for sure.
Perfect. That's a great time for it.
Yeah. So yeah, we have next week coming up a series that we're going to be doing with the beautiful, your friends.
Liz
Yeah.
Wilkie. Yeah, I'm excited. Elysium Liz.
And she's really, really into her tarot, and like you described it. Does she just do room readings? Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, she does that too. And we host
okay.
moon ceremonies for the full moon and the new moon. She's She's extremely psychic. She was chosen by Southern Accent, which is a restaurant that used to be in Toronto for many, many years.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the pandemic has they've closed their doors because of COVID. But
oh no,
she was selected by them, unbeknownst to her, as Toronto's most gifted psychic. And
wow.
the owner of the restaurant did a poll, and the poll came back that it was Liz, and it was just divinely perfect. Liz had eaten there before, and there was the tarot and the psychic in there, and she always wanted that to be her, and she didn't even have to go and ask or apply. The owner actually came to her and said, "I've done a survey. You're the Toronto's best psychic and tarot, and we want you in our restaurant." So
I love it.
She's there,
goodness.
and she's a psychic, so she has to, and a channel, and a light bringer. So she has to discern in group the messages that are coming up, as well as the tarot reading, and what she can or can't share publicly, because we are in that is in a group. But she also does one-on-ones, recordings in person, over the web, any method. She's really good. So it'll be really nice to have her energy with us next week.
Yeah. And I think that being said too is inspirational, because I do have that inner desire to paint my own tarot deck.
Yeah, you said that
I
would be
know.
so cool. I love that. Do you want to do like the a tarot deck, or do you want to do your own oracle deck?
I think there's a lot of call there. I think because of the call between the paths, Kabbalah, the deck, all the levels, and the pathways, the 32 pathways. I find that intriguing, and I think that's a very detailed work. I'd be interested to see what it would be. What it would be like in. I think we had some comments in here that I just didn't get to. Oh goodness. Yeah, she was saying, the beautiful Bridget was saying, we are in the age of Aquarius now, the time of women finally. Maybe that was when I was bringing up the divine feminine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Trial, tribulation, heartache, and pain. Yeah, absolutely. And also like where, like you said earlier, Nicole, about where we put our energy, where we focus
Yeah.
is going to be really, really important. Absolutely, Bridget, because we can dive in. There is a lot to like.
And the beautiful
It's
Debbie
hard for me to even
Garcia.
walk down the street and see the children masked. Like
Yeah.
I can't. It's very, very difficult. But then at the same time, everyone came here on their soul's journey.
Yes.
Or
We
their
have to
journey.
respect that. I totally agree.
And we signed up for this. I signed up to be who I am, and you signed up to be who you are. And some of my friends and family signed up to be very different people than me. And that's okay. We all are on our own paths, and we really have to honor and learn in this soul journey unconditional love.
Okay, and on the unconditional love, for myself, for everybody out there, like it's not easy, and I love the terminology. I love the words unconditional love.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it, but lately I found that there's particular relationship dynamics and people that are presenting in my reality that, trying to appease them was no longer working. And that sense of unconditional love also can be toxic, is what I found. That what you perceived as being unconditional was actually something holding you to that vibration. And I've had to just say no.
We have to.
I'm done. I've already, my mission is not to come here to hold on to that.
No, it's not. And unconditional love doesn't mean we are at the mercy of other beings or at their beck and call or at their disposal. And definitely, unconditional love is flowing into us with our self compassion and our self love. And that also, I believe it also includes boundaries. And boundaries are beautiful. And if we can't receive or be offered unconditional love from someone who's vibrating at a different frequency, which is just like a radio station, we have to turn towards the light or the light.
Tune in, tune out.
Turn towards the light and tune in and tune out and let them go. Put them on mute. Yeah. And
it's you know what, a beautiful, for me, and a very beautiful contribution to my journey and cycle through what childhood trauma and etc. occurred for me.
Yeah.
I had the beautiful occurrence of meeting a young woman, and on the day that I'm celebrating my release from a therapy program. So I know. And I looked at her, and for what she was going through and everything, I got to give her a hug.
Nice.
And I realized that God had brought me my 21-year-old self.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
And so Creator designed these intricate things to show that none of us are really separate in the karmas. None of us are really separate to being harmed. None of us are really separate to the sorrow, to the pain, to the suffering that can occur within a family system or a community or whatever other system is in place. That total oneness is with us all. that I went through everything so that I could be a benefit to somebody else in the end makes total sense to me, in serving a divine purpose at that point. For the
Absolutely.
truth, to be let free, the knowledge and the truth of our beingness.
Yeah. I agree 100%. We're all here. Otherwise we'd be born on planets by ourselves.
How do you have people over for tea then?
Right? There would be no tea. No tea for you. You live on a planet alone. I think that our dreams are in the hands of others. And so speaking them into existence, our aspirations, our goals, they're all in the hands. Other people have the resources that we need to make our dreams come true. So,
and we're manifestations. We're
and our
constant
manifestations.
Like,
it takes community. It takes two to tango. It takes a whole community to create a city, and to make it work. And different people have different strengths or passions, and there's 7.5, I guess, or 8 billion people in the world. We can actually live.
Be a part of those beautiful manifestations. The
That's
lovely
right.
Julie Kiss is saying hi, y'all, and thank you for that, Julie. Blessed be. Hope your full moon went really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and intensity again. I am so blessed that I started with Spirituality Gone Wild, number one.
Yes.
And I'm so blessed that I have continued my journey no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That many signs and signals will always be in the way. And as long as I can stay in that path of seeing, being, and in my own knowingness, that the journey will be magnificent. Yeah. Really. I mean, it's, unless I wanted to just close my eyes and my senses altogether, right? And that's interesting in of itself, but our senses are really what's picking up on everything.
Yeah, they are. And, it's neat that you said that, because I think sometimes once we open our eyes to more information and we really grasp that new information, we can't actually stuff ourselves back in. We don't go back into the womb. We're not like butterflies don't go back into
caterpillar state,
right? I think some caterpillars.
I'd be like, I'm gonna fluff my wings up. I'm gonna be like, where are they? Can you get mine for me?
They're gorgeous, iridescent, a lot of sparkles, and even some feathers there. Your wings look like the trees from the money tree behind you. Like they're green.
That would be interesting. Wow. I just think of like when I watched the series Lucifer, and they always got their wings and they were always going back and forth to heaven, and that moment where they go like poof, and then they're just like boom, and they're like right there, and you're like, whoa.
Oh, it's amazing.
I'll be back in a second. Just going to go talk to God for myself. Like,
that's right.
Just a moment.
Just a moment. Well, and we can do that anytime.
Well, and I heard it in a Kabbalah class that it's alluded to speaking to the divine and the divine presence in the name of the creator is like going up an elevator. If you can imagine that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I can.
Standing in an elevator, 40 stories up. When I was really young, I would travel those little packages around Toronto and hand people their mail.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just, I can remember standing there and being like, whoa, this is incredible. But that is basically the idea. And I thought, wow, I could really live with that. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I love that.
Yeah, we had a little bit more going on here. People came in today and got another show done almost. And it's always exciting, wonderful. It's like so many things. I think no matter what that list is going to look like, we keep setting back and forth with each other. There's like so many other things we want to discuss to get in there.
There's a lot. There is so much on there. There's a lot of goodness in there for sure.
It would be interesting to see it. And I had a really cool Ascension glossary that I ran into, and it was like, this is perfect for me.
That is. Yeah, there is one there's a few of them online, actually, the Ascension glossaries.
Are you feeling complete and whole and everything? Feeling good?
Oh,
I hope
yeah.
everybody out in our audiences are as well. I hope that whatever thoughts and vibrations you're perpetuating are becoming clearer and more awakening, and that there's strong removals of any dark and unnecessary things, and that there's light shining at the end of all for you. So within you and around you and surrounding you with that divine love that we're all looking for.
I love that intention. I echo it and agree.
Yeah. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
So beautiful. As usual, we've done a wonderful job, and thank you everyone for tuning in. You can see us with Dripping with Meaning every Thursday evening now.
Thursday. Excited.
Work
Thanks
great.
so much.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.